Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In this session, we will cover the basics of Report Builder. You will learn how to use shift relative to, region, and subreport features effectively. Let's get started. This features allows you to define positional relationships between stretchable objects within your report. For example, in this case, we want the more description to appear above the item description. Let's start by clicking on the report name to open it in the Report Designer, where you can begin customizing your invoice. Then, click on Subreport norm, document detail. Here, description 3 represents the more description field. Highlight both fields and pull them downward. Then, move more description to the first row. At this point, since we want the report to display description 3 first, followed by description, we need to establish the correct relationship between the two fields. To do this, right-click on the description 3, select Shift Relative to and set the object position based on None, then click OK. Next, you will notice that description 3 is linked to DB Rich Text 1. Using the same method, right-click on description, choose Shift Relative to, and set the object position based on DB Rich Text 1. Click OK to confirm. Once the adjustments are complete, go to File, Save to apply the changes. Finally, preview the report again. You will see that the more description now appears above the item description. This features allows you to group multiple components together, so that you can move, format, or control them as a single unit. Let us return to the report. At this point, you will notice that the description now appears below the more description. However, other fields such as item code, quantity, unit price, and others are still aligned in the same row as more description. If we want all these fields to be grouped together and positioned below the more description, we will need to create an user region. To proceed, open the Report Designer and go to Subreport norm, document detail again. Select the region object from the toolbar and place it in your desired location. Right-click on the region and select Parent Width. The system will automatically adjust the width to match the report's layout settings. Next, hold the Shift key and select all the fields that you want to group together. Move these selected fields into the region area. Also, remember to set the column and line properties to no fill, no line. Adjust the region size as needed and position it below description 3. Then, right-click on region, select Shift Relative to and set the object position based on DB Rich Text 1. Click OK to confirm. Once the adjustments are complete, go to File, Save to apply the changes. Finally, preview the report again. You will see that all fields including item code, quantity, unit price, and others, are now displayed below the more description, together with the description. The features allows you to insert another report into your main report. It is useful when you want to display additional details or information that comes from a separate dataset or layout, while keeping your main report clean and organized. For example, if we want to display serial numbers in this report. To proceed, open the Report Designer and go to Subreport norm, document detail again. Select the subreport object from the toolbar, place it in your desired location and choose Document Serial Number. Next, open the Document's Serial Number tab that was just created. Click on Report and untick Title and Summary. Then, select the DB Text object and set the field to Document Serial Number. You may adjust the text color here if needed. Once all adjustments are complete, go to File, Save to apply the changes. Finally, preview the report again. You will see that the serial number is now displayed row by row. If you wish to display the serial numbers in a single row, follow these few steps. Open the Document's Serial Number tab that was just created. Click on Report and untick Title. Then, select the variable object from the toolbar, right-click to untick Visible. And then select the memo object and place them in your desired location. Highlight both field and adjust the text color here if needed. Next, click on Calc. Right-click on any blank area and select Events, Detail, before Generate. Paste the required coding, and update the field names accordingly. Replace vSerialNo with your variable field, and replace Memo1 with your memo field. Right-click and select Compile, then go to File, Save to apply the changes. Finally, preview the report again. You will now see that all serial numbers are displayed in a single row. And that's it. We've successfully learned how to use Shift Relative to control field positions, Region to group multiple components together, and Subreport to display additional details like serial numbers in SQL accounting software. Now, it's your turn. Try these steps and see how quickly you can get the hang of it. Thank you for watching.